tape down the actual tip itself. After that point, you don't need to have anything else. It's on there pretty good. From this, we're just going to add tape around and go from there. So, here I'm going to lower the camera again. Here we are. Now comes the noisiest and, yeah, just straight up noisiest part. From there, I'm just going to continue torquing this down, adding pressure as we go to ensure that it's good and tight to the actual shaft itself, and making sure that the noodle doesn't wear down and break so easily. Not as loose cell foam as it was. Now it's good and torqued, and it's not going anywhere on the shaft. It's not wobbling on the shaft anymore. Now from here, I'm going to be shaving it down to make it a little bit more streamlined. There we go. So from there, we're going to give this a good shave. Now, try not to be like Sweeney Todd. We don't want to be cutting towards ourselves. You want to be cutting away from yourself. It seems kind of redundant that we had so much foam on that, but doing that enables it to be shaved down appropriately, and you can give yourself the proper amount of range and distance off of the tip itself. We're going to have the open cell plus the open cell on the inside, closed cell on top of that, plus the other two layers, equaling out to a good 4 inches off the tip. But in so doing, this enables you to shave it down accordingly to give yourself a good cone around the actual shaft. I actually cut the foam a little bit too big, so I'm going to bring it down like this. So, actually using the 5.5 is actually kind of pointless. But, as you can see by the shaving, you're slowly making it conical around the actual shaft itself, making it much more streamlined. Now, after the fact, you're actually going to have to tape it down a little more, which is fine. You're going to have to retorque it to the shaft, but this enables you to, as I said, make that conical shape around the actual shaft itself. Starting to get that form, starting to get that figure, if you will, that curvy figure. Now I'm going to continue shaving. it down right here. It's going to be much more conical, and it's going to be a lot more streamlined to the actual shaft itself. Now, we're going to give this a quick measure, just to make sure that we haven't cut off too much. And yeah, looks good. There we are. So, I'm going to go ahead and take this down. Hopefully I haven't lost any of you guys yet. Bear with me, I'm going to quickly do this. That way you can see what I'm doing. See? I'm taping it down, I'm torquing it down, I'm applying pressure with my thumb. And my thumb, as I'm squeezing and wrapping the tape around. I'm ensuring not to give myself too much range or distance from the actual edge of the tape itself, as well as the arrow. If you give yourself too much distance, the tape gets too loose and it doesn't torque the actual noodle down properly. Actually gives us a really nice shape, and we still have the adequate distance off the tip of the arrow itself. We have adequate foam padding on the side of the arrow itself as well to make sure that we keep it safe. There we are. That's the basic form. Now we're just going to add another layer of open cell foam over the tip just to soften up this hard floor padding. Bear with me a moment. Just an excess piece that I just cut off the total roll that I have. Now, again, we're going to use the roll of tape, the inner roll, to measure it out. But we're actually not going to use the inner roll this time. We're going to use the outer roll to give us a little bit more distance off of the edge. We can wrap it around the actual arrow itself to give it more of a streamlined appearance. I know a lot of people like to use stress balls because they're nice, soft, open cell foam. I'm not denying the fact that those make really nice arrows, but at this point in time, I just don't have any of those stress balls. But here we are. Now, just measure around the outside using a pen, pencil, whatever you got. If you find that your pen or your pencil is not making the proper marks, you could also use your knife too. I wouldn't recommend using the knife just in case you slip. Potentially dangerous, or you could also mess up a lot of your foam, which you don't want. And from here, this is going to be a quick fix. Just like that. Might be a good idea if I shorten my blade. There we go. So I guess while I'm doing this, I could tell you as to who I am, where I'm from, etc. Like I said in the first part of the videos, my name is Sean. My Antgard alias, or nickname, persona, if you will, is Kyus. Kyus Sindacco of Wolvenfang, actually from Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. Shout out to the Canadians. Woot! But also, shout out to my American friends as well. Got nothing but love for you guys. Alright, so, now, the circle itself is quite large. It's about 3.25, but like I said, you're going to be taking it, you're going to be wrapping it around the tip of the arrow itself. You're going to be taping it down and wrapping it around. By doing so, gives you more of a rounded appearance, which will help streamline it and help it fly a lot straighter. Now again, bear with me, I'm just going to be taping this down. lopsided, but we're going to be adding some more tape to bring it down, bringing down all of the edges. Now, yes, it adds a little bit of extra weight, but quite honestly, the box tape, it lasts a really, really long time. It doesn't degrade like some other tapes will. Cinched down to the actual arrow shaft itself. It's a little bit lopsided, so I'm going to be adding another layer of tape. There we go. This is kind of a sloppy, messy one, but it helps. And then, now that it's all strapped down, tape down nice and tight. I'm going to add one more layer, just even it out. Again, torquing the tape down to the actual foam padded tip. You only need about one, maybe two, depending on what kind of foam you're using, how resilient it is. But, done. That's it. That's all. Now all we need is the cloth cover. Ensuring to use a proper cloth cover that is not the associated color with any of the specialty arrows. But from here, we use hockey tape to tape down the cloth cover.
Can I have it? Please?
Measure one last time, just to ensure that is the appropriate length. As you can see, is the adequate size. From there, as we measured, there's 2 layers, plus the additional layer added and folded over, plus 2 more layers over top of the tip. Now, if you do the math, it equals out to about 3.5 inches. Perfectly safe, perfectly legal, and no wobble whatsoever. There we go. Now we just need a cloth cover. I'm just going to use the old cloth cover that I had. Alright, from this point, I'm just going to have to get a cloth cover. So we're going to pause the recording for the moment. So we're just going to finish off the arrow. I got a piece of loose fabric, a color that is not denoted by any of the specialty arrows. This one just happens to be a shiny black.
Oh, scratch. That felt good. Come back and scratch.
Don't use any other kind of abrasive material. Guaranteed your local champion or even your provincial or kingdom champion will turn that down right away. You will get frowned down upon. But we're just going to cover the arrow with this really quick and just wrap it up as fast and as secure as possible. Just use your fabric tape. Pull the fabric on top of the tip. Good and secure, nice and tight. Now, around the tip itself, you want to leave yourself a gap of about 1 inch on the tip. And then from there, wrap your tape down. Like that, making sure that you overlap your tape halfway each time as you're moving down. At this point, it's the fabric itself is actually secured to the tip of the foam padded arrow. Now you just finishing it off, so you just polish it up, make it look nice. Now I have it marked the end of the foam. Max draw is 28, and I have this marked off at 27. So I'm not going to be pulling past that point with these arrows. There we go. Just finish off the tape. And success. That's it. That's all. That's all she wrote. There. You make sure that you mark the arrow tip itself. According to the newest rule set, it has to be on the tip of the arrow. It used to be that you could put your name on the fletching, but because there's a lot of people who use arrows that the fletchings are missing, why people do that I don't know. But anyway, you used to have your name on the fletching or anywhere on the arrow itself, but now according to the rules, you actually have to have your name on the tip of the arrow. Whether you agree with it or not. Either way, make sure that you are abiding by the rules after you're done. Do your final measurements. Make sure that everything is copacetic. As you can see, measures out to just 3 inches. 3 inches across. That's a beautiful size. You don't have to worry about it passing any champion's ring. Now, check your draw length by measuring it out. As you can see, bottom of the tape. So right at the bottom of the foam is 28. The bottom of the tape is about 26 and a half. Gives you a good pull. Then when you draw the arrow, you can bring your riser to right about here. And you're at the max draw length, and as long as you're using the appropriate bow strength, appropriate limbs, etc., to ensure that it's not over 35 pounds at 28 inches. And there you go. You got a perfectly legal and safe Antgard arrow, ready to rock and roll. Anyway, thank you for sitting through this abnormally long video, and thanks for giving it a view. Thanks a lot.